everyone, welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making ricotta pie. It's really easy and I'm pretty sure everyone can do it, okay? So let's get started. In a food processor you're going to need 2.5 cups of flour, a half a cup of sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, 12 tablespoons of cold butter cut into cubes, okay? Now, if you're using salted butter, cut back on your salt, okay? So what we're looking for is like a little pea-sized crumble. So I'm just going to keep pulsing this. We don't want to overmix this at all. And you want that butter to stay cold. If you can, put it in the freezer. Coming together. Alright, now you're going to add 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, now you're going to need a 1/3 cup of ice water. I'm going to take my ice out because we don't want to put that in our pie. And I'm going to put this on pulse and I'm going to add it a little bit at a time. If we don't need all of it, we won't use it. If we need more, we'll add more. We're looking for it when you touch it with your hands, it comes together, okay? So just slowly add your water. You'll see it coming together. Hear it coming together? Let me open this and see how it feels. I think I need just a little bit more. I'm going to get it out of my refrigerator because the refrigerator is really cold. So I'm just going to pulse this a little bit more. I don't even need what is all in here. There we go, we got it perfect, okay? So maybe that was like 1/4 of a teaspoon that I added extra. Now, I'm going to take this out of here. Just dump it on your board. You don't need any flour or anything.
Watch your blade.
Yes. And we're just going to need this to make it a nice feeling dough. Alright, you're only going to need this just to get it into a ball. Don't overwork your dough. It'll become tough. Alright, so we're going to put it into a disc like so. I'm trying to make it as nice as I can. And then I'm going to cut this in half. And we're going to wrap it in saran wrap or plastic wrap. And we're going to let it sit for at least 30 minutes in the refrigerator. Alright, once your dough is ready, you're going to take a little bit of flour. Now don't overdo it with the flour because we don't want to make this dough tough, okay? I have a deep dish pie plate here. Now, if you don't have a deep dish, don't fill it over full. You know, fill it just to where you would a pie, and if you have leftovers, you could either put them in a little oven safe dish without crust and bake it like a custard. Or you can add, I'm not doing a top crust on mine, so you can use that in those too. But if you're going to do a top crust, then just do it without a crust. So you're going to put a little bit of flour down. You're going to take your dough, put it down. You're going to just lightly flour the top. And then we're going to flour our rolling pin lightly. Mine's marble, so it's cold. And we're going to roll this out until it's bigger than our pie plate. Alright, once you get it bigger than your pie plate, mine is, I'm going to, easy way to transfer it into your pie plate, take your rolling pin and just lift up on your pie dough and keep rolling it around your rolling pin. Like so. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your dough and you're going to lay it on the side like that, and you're just going to unroll it into your pie plate. And then we're going to push it down and fix the sides. Alright, so all I did was take a really sharp knife and I just cut it around the edge. Mine is fluted inside, so I don't need to flute it, but if you're using one that you want to flute yourself, which means making pretty decorations on the outside, if you don't know how to do that, just use the fork tines and go ahead and put it down. Now I'm going to set this to the side.
Pinch it with your fingers.
Pinch it with your fingers. I'm going to set this to the side and we're going to move on to the filling. Alright, now for the filling, you're going to add 6 large eggs to a mixing bowl. I always break mine ahead of time so I don't have any shells, or if any egg is bad, it won't ruin the rest of my ingredients. 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to mix that. Make sure your oven's at 325. Alright, once that's mixed, you're going to add a half a tablespoon of lemon zest. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which I have in here, and you're going to need 1.5 pounds of full fat ricotta cheese. Now, if your ricotta cheese is not real wet, go ahead and use it. If it's really wet, you're going to have to put it into like a cheesecloth and let it drain for a while, because if it's too wet, this pie will never set up. So I like my pie dry anyways, so mine wasn't real wet, but I still hung mine over to drip dry because I like it a little bit more firm, but you do whatever you want to do. So we're going to add all that to this. Got some cinnamon in there. Okay, now we're just going to mix this together. And just be careful because it will go all over because it's got those eggs in there until it gets mixed a little bit. Alright, you want to mix this until it's smooth. Going to give it one quick stir with my spatula because there's a little bit of lemon rind in a bunch that was on the beater. So I'm just going to mix that in a little bit. Now we're going to pour this right into our pie crust. Whoops. I put mine on a pan so if it goes over it won't make a mess in my oven. You definitely need a deep dish pie crust, a deep dish pie pan for this. Or, like I said, you can make 2 pies, use the other dough, and make 2 smaller pies. Now this is going to go into our preheated oven, and we're going to bake it for 20 to 30 minutes, or until a knife comes out clean in the middle. Alright, so here's our finished pie. Mine took 70 minutes, so don't rush it. Just keep checking it with the knife in the middle, pretty much until you get to, I would say, an hour. It's still going to be really jiggly. Just kind of move it out of the oven and see if it's jiggly. You won't need to put a knife in it. You know it's not done, okay? So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.